it's not the norm to be suicidal. But for her, in her depths of depression, that was her norm. My name's Donna and I'm Eloise's mum for 18 years.
I tried to tell people, but I didn't know how to. I thought it was normal. Like I thought, oh, some people obviously think this. It's not a weird thing to think about. But it was only after when I started talking to people like, it's not normal. Not many people think that. It gradually built up, and then that's how it got worse. Like my depression got worse.
Eloise is a very resilient child. She had spent a lot of months feeling down and depressed and still going to school, still sort of being okay, but I knew she wasn't great. It sort of rapidly got really severe with over a 3 or 4 month period. She had been quite bad for the 6 months. It was getting to the point she wouldn't go to school, which, again, she went way more than probably other children were. She was quite resilient like that. I think, like she was saying, she was in autopilot. Of course, fear and worry was my biggest thing, and keep asking, are you okay? Are you okay? We were taking her to private counselling or private psychology, hoping that she'd be able to share and feel comfortable with whatever was going within her, because I kind of felt as a parent, as much as we do have a close relationship, I did feel she wasn't able to talk to me. Like she wasn't sharing, and I wasn't going to force her to, but I also wanted her to have another person that she might be able to start sharing. And that didn't happen. She came home one day and we saw something that gave us the indication that she had intent, and we had never seen that. So what was happening during the night, she wasn't sleeping, and so things were happening while we were sleeping. As much as that's pretty dramatic, that's when we decided to take her to hospital. I didn't know what to do because we had tried everything else, and so I just said to her, are you thinking about, taking your life? And she went, yep. And then I'm like, okay, what do I do? And so my thought process was, I'll just take her to hospital. Probably as a parent, once she started talking about it, I think like she was saying, it was kind of at the end, and she's like, we'll talk about it. But really for me, I saw actual relief for her. Relief. I don't want to say this is a negative thing, but don't have expectations. Let them be them. We always allowed her to be who she wanted to be, but when things started to get tough, what happens as parents, you tend to want to fix, or you want to put a lid on it, but you really can't do that. You've got to take your expectations to the ground and then just love, support, and not care what other people think, and just get them safe and protected. And, my husband, Dave, grew up in a very different kind of world. So for him, he was really frightened of she's not going to school. Why is she not going to school? Whereas I'm like, I don't care. She doesn't need to go to school. So as a parent, I think just be gentle. Gentle on yourself, but then also gentle for expectations on your child. They shouldn't have, when they're feeling that low, that they're not going to feel disappointed coming to you, telling you that, because that's the thing, is like that fine line of actually voicing it and it being okay, or not voicing it. Look after yourself the best you can. I feel like on reflection, I didn't have much of a life at that time. I still worked, I have a business, I still was functioning enough, but all my focus was on her. And not to make her feel bad or anything about that, but just don't have any expectations of life other than comforting, cuddle, do you need anything? Touching base, going into the room, knocking, not being invasive, not asking anything. Like literally, you don't ask anything other than I'm here for you. Yeah, don't ask. Yeah, because I don't want to tell. And I talk too much. I ask too many questions. I'm a fixer. I'm all of the above. And so I've had to get to a point of being the best person and mum for my children to be themselves, but that I am their biggest support. And that's all you need to be as a parent. You can have all the money in the world and take them to private counselling, but it's not always the answer. So the answer is, as a parent, know that something's not right. Keep asking the question, are you really okay? That's probably the biggest thing. A lot of people feel very uncomfortable once again to share our story. Even people that are close to us found it hard to support or know what to do because it isn't talked about, or when it is talked about, sadly, someone has had that success of ending their life, which is terrible to even talk about. So it's like trying to share our story for prevention, and that it's going to be okay, and hope that even in the dark times, and it took a few years to get to the point of here, where she's just graduated high school and very happy and everything. But, you know, a couple of years of going through that is quite hellish, but just taking day by day and being there for them and not worrying about anything else other than their mental health. This is my biggest tip, is if that's happening in your house and you feel that loss of connection, I would really strongly suggest family counselling. So we have all done individual stuff, we've been through a lot, but the family counselling, that is where everyone's on board with it. Yeah, if I had my time again, on my top tip would be family counselling, family psychology. Yeah.